If you want our global experts to create your dream online business or grow your existing business, go to freedomlifestyleagency.com. Hello, beautiful people and truly global FLC family. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whichever part of the world that you are tuning in from. Are you stuck somewhere in your online business? Doesn't matter which area you're trying to solve a problem or maybe boost the growth of your business. That our global experts help you to power push towards the business growth that you're always dreaming of. Our experts have seen massive number of industries and solved so many problems. Today, we are going to reveal one of the biggest secret of the freedom lifestyle and what most successful and modern entrepreneurs are doing right now. I grew up seeing my dad, who's an inspiration for me to do whatever I'm doing right now. I saw him working hard and in our family business, and he wanted to grow because he saw the success. So he naturally worked even more harder than before, then more, and then more. Like there is no end to it. But in that process, we compromised our family time, which would have been so amazing to have it. But how many of you can actually relate to what I'm saying right now? Today, I'm going to reveal the secret how you can have best of both worlds. So this week, joining me on this show is our own Freedom Lifestyle expert, two-comma club award winner, none other than Tjibaria. Hello, Tjibaria. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Rajesh. I'm super excited for today's episode as it's so close to my heart. Thank you so much.
I'm really, really excited. Now, this is one of the biggest questions that the entire entrepreneur community have, right? And we know the facts very well that a lot of businesses, when they actually grow, it cannot sustain. Now, my question to you is, now, one side, I already spoke about my personal experience where we could have had much better family time when I was a child
Mm,
if there is a solution. Now, my
yeah.
question to you is, how can we achieve both, right? I want to have freedom of time, at the same time I want to have the business growing, meeting my dreams. What
Yeah.
is your suggestion, Tjibaria?
Automation. It's such a very powerful thing, and a lot of people who've been coming to our events or watching our seminars and stuff like that, they already know this. But whoever is watching this live or on the replay, comment below and say automation equals freedom, because it is very, very true. And there's a couple of myths with regards to this. Sometimes people who are not in business and they want to get started in business, they think like, oh, automation is something super difficult and I can only do this like after I've established myself and I've been a couple of years into business. No, you can start automation from day one. This is the way how we train our students and our clients. And when we do it for our clients, we build it in from day one. Another myth that some people have is that they think like, well, I'm in business already. Business is going well. I mean, it's I don't really need it right now, or I'll do it later. But let me tell you, the sooner you put in automation in your business, the sooner you can actually start seeing that A, you can help more people, and B, you have more time. And like Rajesh was mentioning, time is super important. Like, let me know in the comments if you were able to choose your own time, what would you like to do more? Would you like to spend more time with family? Would you like to do more traveling? Would you like to do more sports? What is it that it's important to you? And what I want everybody to understand, especially after this episode, is that automation is essential for any business. Because if you're doing everything manually, or you and your team are doing everything manually, like, it's okay and you're probably getting results with that, but you can get so much more results for the people that you're serving as well as for yourself if you are having automation in place. And I'm so excited for today's episode because we're going to guide you guys in this episode as to how you could be building that automation in and where to start and what to think about. So that would be like my main message is anyone needs automation in the business. Doesn't matter if you're already turning over 500 figures or whether you are just starting out. Automation is essential and you can get this in your business sooner than you think. So that's my point, my first point.
Wow. Okay, yes, this I totally agree. As I said, it is such an important thing because many people get lost in the business. The
Yeah.
moment they get in, they think, yes, like my dad, because he's such an amazingly successful person. There is no doubt about it. And
Yeah.
he's an inspiration to me. but I want to do something different where I can have both, best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Now, what you said is correct. I mean, what is automation, right? I just want to ask, right? What is automation? When
Yeah.
you're talking about, yeah, automation is must. I totally agree. But
Yeah.
where somebody has to start, if somebody has decided, yes, I want to have the automation in place, where do they start?
Yeah, so this is a very good question. So it basically comes down to the question is if you have a process that could benefit a lot more people, or you have a process that you're constantly repeating, how can you replace your repeating it by a system? So a very simple one, let's say if you are the type of person that, and we seem to find a lot of people that are coming to our live videos and stuff that always are so giving with their advice. So maybe they have people coming to them asking for advice about their love life or asking for advice about healing or whichever area, right? You always seem to have people coming to you and asking you for that advice. If you constantly find yourself sharing that piece of advice that you usually share with people, but you're doing the same advice with different people, then that is something you can automate. This is the one of the most simplest ways of doing that is by, for instance, writing that advice down or recording a video where you're sharing that advice and then being able to help more people with that. Now, does that mean that next time a friend comes knocking on your door, you're like, here, watch the video? Of course not, right? It doesn't mean that you should treat your friends and family like that. But do you think that if you are helping your friends with this or your family members, do you think that there might be more people out there that might need to hear that advice? Of course, right? So that is one way of how you can bring automation in. Another way, which again is often found by people who are already in business or people who are about to, have certain processes that they're delivering to their clients, is if, for instance, and this again super super simple, but we're starting simple and then we go deeper and deeper deeper, is when, for instance, you are delivering something to your client. So someone pays, someone becomes your client, they become your customer, and then you manually having to deliver to them. So let's say someone buys your program, for instance, or your service, or whatever they buy from you. And then manually you find yourself writing up an email saying, okay, you're getting this, 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 this. Manually, you're grabbing all the deliverables, whether it's like physical things or whether it is virtual things, right? And you're putting it all together and you're manually sending that all out. That is a process that you can automate. You can have a system, which is one of the things that we love to talk about, is where you have a landing page. Whenever someone puts in an investment, automatically that triggers that same email that goes out to all your customers so that the fulfillment is done automatically. Just think about how much time that would save you. Now, I know some of you will be thinking right now, well, yeah, but not everything is as automatable. So you can also do a semi-automation where you say, okay, these are the things that is the same for all my clients. So that part I automate. And the ones that are custom, that are more dependent on what kind of client you got on board, those you remain to be doing in a customized way. But that time that you're saving by means of automating the repeatable processes, it's a game changer, absolute game changer. It changed my life, changed Rakesh's life, all of our clients and students' lives. So this is basically the type of thought process that you want to start off thinking in terms of putting this in place in your business, and it will make a massive difference. I hope that answers
Wow.
the question.
Yes, absolutely. I think I would call this as a gold advice. It's equal to gold. Such an amazing thing, right? Anything which is common for across the client chain
Yeah,
should be automated and should be standardized.
yeah,
I understood. Now the second point is about how you can actually customize things has to be done, manually. But I'm sure we are talking about automation as one of the key driving factor to actually get that time freedom.
yeah.
But I want to bring in another important aspect here. It's
Yes,
not just about the time.
yes,
Before I tell that secret, I want all of the people who actually tuned in from, if you guys have any kind of questions in terms of a business, in terms of industry, in terms of any automation or any
yes,
tools, just comment below right here, and then we will try and cover it up during this conversation. If
yes.
not, probably after the live. So the second thing, the most important thing I want to connect that to is, what did I forget? No, not really. I'm just joking. So the thing is, when you have automation in place,
Mhm.
instead of helping maybe 10 clients, you can help 100 clients at a time.
Yeah.
Instead of helping 100 clients, probably you can help 1,000 times.
Mm.
And while you have the quality time with the family.
Yeah.
Now, well, I mean, let me ask you, right? It is. I keep seeing you, how much you actually value your time with your family, and wonderful. I mean, right from your childhood photos and all you put in. I think, man, is this Tjibaria? Like, the kind of thoughts I get,
Thank you.
and such a bubbly kind of a girl now impacting so many people out there. Now, let me ask this question: how automation in your business has impacted the kind of time that you can have with your family. I'll
Oh,
probably go there and sit on the beach.
yeah, yeah, it's a lot, really, really a lot. And I think as well, it's because like if you're thinking about this way, and this is a very important and honest message that we're here giving with the people who are watching this live or on the replay, is that if you are in business but there's no money coming in, then you're not in business, because business, it needs cash flow. You need to have money coming in so that you can obviously pay for the bills and you can make sure that the business is sustainable. And if money is not coming in, it will add to stress. It will add to like literally everything. And that is also the reason why a lot of people who are starting in business that may not yet have a mentor, they may not have people that they work with, or they may not have automation, sometimes their stress can be a lot higher because they're looking like, okay, how do I find my next client? Or they have existing clients, but it's like nothing more. So you're constantly stuck in your business. So what really made a difference to me is that you have to understand, what everybody commented below, is that there is a customer journey. Like Rajesh talks about this all the time. Every single episode, I believe you've mentioned these words, like a customer journey. It doesn't mean that people just like overnight, boom, become your client. Some people do, but that's the minority. Some people, they first need to see and witness who you are as a person, as a company, as a brand. So it takes a relationship building. And so what has really made a lot of difference to me and my life and my family together is the fact that you can have that like how do you say, you can incorporate your, let's say, your sharing your value with the world into your family life, and the system does all the back end. So imagine normally what I would have to do if I don't have automation is I need to add some value, show people like this is what I do, this is how I can help other people. But then the moment that someone would like to know more, I would have to actively do certain things. I would have to always be in front of each and every customer in a manual way. Now that would take up a lot of time, but now I know is I can do the value adding, and then I can switch off the computer, and I know the systems got everything else in place. I know my systems are giving automated free stuff. I know the systems are giving the automated upsell. The systems are booking the interested people into my calendar. So I know that where normally they would have taken a lot of my time to go and run after all these potential clients, the system does it. And the beauty of it is that if a client is not yet ready to go and sign up for a paid thing, that's fine. The system allows like the customer to go through a journey that is adequate for them. The only thing I have to make sure is that I'm constantly visible. And that is something that's a lot more manageable than if you have to do everything manually. I'm not saying that I don't have to work a lot, because I do work a lot because I love what I do, right? But that makes such a difference, and it would make a difference to anybody's life, because you can incorporate like the business stuff into your normal life, which for us obviously is one and the same thing, but like you can make that blend in, and then the system will take care of all the people, give them enough time and value as they need, and then they can make the decision whenever they are ready, because all these things are in place and are consistently being shared with the people that are then in your database. And I think that is really, really powerful. And in the beginning, you might not realize that, because you think, oh, with one or two or three people, I can handle it. But when it goes out to tens, hundreds, thousands, it becomes very a lot to manage. And then having a system in place really makes a difference. So that is really how it made a difference to me, and obviously also to you, because we're doing a lot of these things together. And I think that is very key for people to understand, is that whenever you want to have your business work, or you want to get to 6 figures, 7 figures, or beyond that, right? But you have to understand there is a process. You can't desperately run after every person, because then people are going to run away. But if you have something in place that consistently gives value to other people, and all you have to do is also consistently add value, then they start coming to you, because the customer journey is incorporated in the automation. if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Wow. It makes more than sense. It makes more than sense, and it sounds so really critical. Hey, oh, Josie is in the house. Hey, legends, we love automation, baby. Yes, we love it too. We really
Nice.
love it. And Delin says automation. Wow, where to start? Yeah, just like Delin, I still remember our conversation, last conversation, probably last year. And where to start? Just like what Tjibaria said, anything which is commonly delivered to the customer should be automated, right
Yeah.
from the welcome email, in the email automation, probably messenger, if you want to say the welcome on, and all the standard services that you can do,
Yeah.
and extended sales like funnels. So customer journey, absolutely, Delin, customer journey is so important. That's what makes a very normal entrepreneur so different from a successful entrepreneur, because successful entrepreneurs build a journey for the customer, and so beautifully said by Chibaria. So now let me put this right. What you said is absolutely true, and I want you guys to really comment. How many of you want to do a business of four figures, like £1,000, $1,000, or thousand, whichever currency it is, or if you really like to do six or seven figures? So comment below. What is that number in mind? Is it in millions you want to do, or you just want to do 1,000 and £1,000 or dollars? And most of the ambitious entrepreneurs that we work with, we help with them with the entire automation and integration. They want to have $1 million. When they're working on that, the automation is the key. You don't want to just do business and forget about the rest of the life, right? That way you're actually impacting a lot of people. And again, right, I want to bring it up to the kind of impact you will have in terms of stress is very high. You
Mm.
don't care for your family, obviously that will build into the stress, just like what Tibaria said.
Mm.
And if not for family, what is that you're working for, right? So you need to strike a balance, and this automation bridges that gap so beautifully.
Yeah.
And it's a team member. Messenger marketing automation is one team member working for you day, night, day, night, day, night. And it really shows that you're a truly global entrepreneur. Same thing with email, and same thing with the funnel.
Mm.
Now, Chipari, I want to ask, right? If there is no automation at all, what are the challenges that you think? I mean, we have seen a lot of them, but I
Mm.
want you to at least give some of the important aspects so that audience can connect to those pain points, so that they understand. Oh my God, I'm having this pain point, maybe because of this, so that at least they can understand and then start.
Yeah, yeah. I think it has. I think there's two really main things that are super important with that. No, actually three. One is the one that I already mentioned in terms of that there is a journey and that different people are ready to take action at different times. So having automation in place where you facilitate that process, that today there's a couple of people say yes, and then next day there's a couple of people say yes, and it's like for everyone at the right timing for them, but you're consistently adding value to them. That is super important. I think the second thing that is really key is that as you, especially for those of you who start in business, there's already so many things that you have to manage. There's already so many things that you have to think about, right? That you're like, oh man, like sometimes people get overwhelmed. And I personally as well have it that when I have a lot of different options, my mind goes like, oh, where do I start? Where do I start? And that's why I'm also so happy working with Rajesh, because Rajesh is super, super, super organized. Also with other members of our FLC family, like I'm pretty organized, but they're on another level, right? So I'm so grateful working with them, and literally like everybody bring their own like superpowers to the table. But that is something that happens a lot, that people think like, okay, there's so many different things, like where do I start, what do I do? But if you know that you have something that is actually doing a part of the work for you, like what Rajesh is saying, it's a team member. You have your messenger bot that is talking to your customers. You have an email sequence that is there delivering to your customers. You have your database. You have different things that go on an automated way. Then you know, okay, this is taken care of. Now let me do these and these and these things that can then help me increase my productivity and also bring in more sales. And I think then the third point is actually directly connected to that, is that you have to also keep up your own motivation. So again, when you do something that is extraordinary, I talk a lot about this. Actually, I think 2 days ago I posted a video that was talking about this. Is that when you want to live a life that only the minority of the world is living, you have to be willing to do what only the minority of this world is willing to do. Because if we're talking about freedom lifestyle, being financially free, having the freedom of time where you can do what you want to do when you want to do it, have time with family, but also look after your customers and make sure that they are having a happy experience, then obviously it requires a lot of dedication. It requires a lot of different things that you need to do. And is it that most people don't want that? Is it that most people don't want to be rich and have a lot of freedom? No, of course not. Everybody would want that. But what you have to realize is that it takes you to then put these things in place. It takes you to be disciplined in that way. It takes you to keep on making those moves. And is that possible? Absolutely. We are being misinformed by everything around us, including television and all that sort of stuff, that we might sometimes think is only for the select few, but it's not. Everyone can do it. But yet, in the midst of all that distraction, you have to keep your own motivational radar on point. You have to be undistracted. And in being undistracted, having wins is super powerful. If you can say, hey, look, I've just done this and I've got my first lead, let's celebrate. I've done this and this lead has bought the next thing automatically. It helps you in creating wins for yourself, because you're not just yourself doing everything, but your system. Oh, my system is being funny. You're basically doing the things together. And so it also allows you to get wins faster. And when you get wins faster, it reaffirms that, wait, I can do this. And that's when your road to success and to living the life that only the minority of this world is living, it makes it easier, smoother, more powerful, because you're not just you, one person, but you are you plus your system that is basically working with you. And then also, if you have a community like what we have with our students that is supporting you and helping you like for a lifetime, then that helps too, obviously, a lot. And I think that's important as well. I went a little bit like all over the place, but I think these are all important elements that people need to consider in terms of why automation is such a big and important thing to have in place and to start sooner than later. Because the sooner you do it, it may take a bit of work, right? It may take a little bit of like, you need to sit down, you need to go through a process. Like we teach that during our educational process program, or for those people who might want it done faster, like we do it for our students as well, for those who are part of the gold experience. But in principle, if you have it done, this is what Master Akash always said, once it's done, it's done. So it literally is worth the time, it's worth the effort, it's worth the extra dedication in the beginning, and then you have it done. And then you can build upon that. And it's so powerful. And sometimes you may think like, well, I understand what you're saying, but I'll do it when the time is right. Well, I just want to say here, if you do this when the time is right, first and foremost, there's never a right time.
Yeah.
But secondly, just think of all the things you could have already have in your business, in your life over the months that you're otherwise waiting, right? If you say like, oh, I'll do this, in 4 months, then if you had done it now, or if you're doing it now, you can already have a couple of months benefiting from that automation. So that is one of the things why we're always like, okay, if there's a system that we can improve upon, let's go and do it. Let's make it happen. Yes, it's a little bit of an extra stretch right now, either because you're doing it or you're paying someone to do it. That is there. But the long-term results are so enjoyable that it's literally worth it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my points.
That's totally understand. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are already connecting to here. And Delin says Tjibaria always giving value and always caring. Absolutely, she's a caretaker of entrepreneurs globally. So anybody gets on board, either FLC silver, gold, or platinum, we make sure we care for them to an extent where we only want for them is success. And yeah, so true. Rajesh, yeah, different level. Yeah, thank you so much, Dillian. It is so nice to see that, so true. Mega distraction in the world and never a right time. Yes. Oh, yeah, I love this. Never a right time. Absolutely, yes. Now is the right time. And
Yes.
I can actually share one very, very personal experience. And right from my childhood, I was involved in our family business, which is totally into retail.
Yes.
And it's almost like, I would say, zero automation. Zero, because I'm talking about the business started in 1970s. So everything was on paper and paper. And then we used to be like kind of a small helpers for my dad when he was doing all this business and he's building his empire. Now 13 years I was off because I was doing my thing and I was traveling around the world. And after that, I came back because of the need that was there in the family business. I
Mhm.
did only one thing. I introduced automation. I just did only one thing, and that's automation. And in his own words, he said, 80% of the work I'm not doing anymore. Now I'm actually finding more time. I'm figuring out what am I supposed to do in my free time. And he spent that time with his granddaughter, which is my
Yeah.
daughter.
Mm.
So, how many of you would love to have that kind of a luxury, saying that you have a business running on profits, but you still have time that you're confused what to do, right? Oh my God, okay, what should I do now? Okay, now I almost like 4 5 hours. Okay, let me go into the beach or maybe spend time with probably daughters, granddaughters, or maybe great granddaughters. I don't know. I just want you to understand the importance of it.
Yeah.
Like Tjibaria said, it may be slightly uncomfortable right at that time. Or probably you reach experts like us. We build businesses literally every day. What we do is to build businesses. If you want to do it, wonderful.
Yeah.
But if you really want to get it done from experts, it is still okay.
Mm.
But start today.
Yeah.
If you don't have automation, you're not a business person. You're not a true entrepreneur.
Mm.
And like she said, automation gives you the global look, right? Somebody sitting in you are sitting in US and somebody sitting in Korea really find value in what you're saying, and then they bought the program, and their timing is so totally different. When you're about to sleep and that person is getting up, right? Like this, and then they go and buy and they get a message.
Yeah.
How beautiful it is. Let me ask you, as a customer, as a client, how much would you appreciate such experience where you bought something and you got a message as if it is literally from that person whom you admire and you actually kind of model around?
Yeah.
Can you generate such an amazing experience and that client journey for your client? Now, comment below if you would like to have. I love my clients. I want to build the customer journey for them. And thank you so much, Tjibaria, for sharing such an important thing because I went back in time. I went back in time and I could actually literally think how much my dad has valued building the automation. But if you want us to build that automation for you, go to that freedomlifestyleagency.com, which is scrolling down, and just book your call. It's free. If you don't take action even now, obviously you can run the business exactly the same way. It is just that you want to make that big change, right? So, Tjibaria, let me ask you, right? Makes one feel awesome. Yes. Uh, Now, let me ask you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about automation as one of the important thing, and I see almost all the successful entrepreneurs they actually work on the automation.
Mm.
If somebody has to kind of look into, they already have a business and they're looking at, they don't know exactly, right? It's working but they just don't have any time freedom,
Yeah.
and they really want to get an expert advice, right? What do you suggest if they want to actually get started but they just don't know where to start?
Yeah, I think the first thing definitely is that you have a database. So that you have a database where the emails are being automatically generated. And then secondly is to have a funnel system. And actually it's kind of also the other way around. So let's say if you're an existing business, you want to implement this, make sure that you have the database and the different things, like the emails go out automatically to them. But if you are starting out, you don't have any leads or people in the database, so you need to get them in first. But then again, even if you do have people in your database, you want to send them things, relevant things that usually are presented on a funnel. So it's actually hand in hand. You need them both. So the
Mm.
database is basically a place where you have all the data. You have the name, email address, phone number, whatever information is required for you being able to conduct your business is all in there. And automatically you can send emails depending on whatever is relevant to them. So that is one thing that you want. The landing page and funnels is basically like a better version of a website, because in a website there's so many options there, so a lot of the time people don't take actions because there's too many options. A landing page or a funnel is basically a customized experience that goes step by step, and you exactly dictate what is the next step so that it's easier for you to get conversions and easier for customers to make the decision. And so that is there to basically share with them what you have as value to give. So it could be that you have a free ebook. You present that on the landing page. All they have to do is click the button, put in their name, put in their email address, and boom, that is then connected to the database. So the database will send the email with the free ebook and with the congratulations message. Hey, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. And then on there, the database side, obviously the next email goes out, which then next day says, hey, congratulations for having got access to this ebook, and I hope you enjoyed the ebook. As a matter of fact, I've got a little present for you. And that present is then a link where you click on, which is your next landing page, where you maybe have a free video for them. So you give them more value. Now, do you guys start to see how powerful it is to, like, once, first and foremost, make this, but then secondly, how it literally will serve you for a lifetime? And at the moment that you get more and more customers or more leads on board, that they can all go through the same process. Whereas normally you would have to personally talk to them, which obviously is super awesome, but you won't be able to do that for everyone and at all the times. So that this way you can ensure, like what Rajesh was saying, a good experience for your customers, because all of these things are in place. And when you say, like, you record a video or you're writing a message or an email for that matter, all of these are written with the same love, dedication, passion, and intention for that person. So because we always teach our students, write them with the person in mind. But then when maybe the sixth person goes on it, or the 100th or the 1000th person will go on to that, they still have that same experience and love that they get from you initially writing that email. So it literally allows you to put these things in place hand in hand. So ideally, you want to start with both of these things hand in hand, the database as well as a funnel system, where you can continuously add value, allow them to take the next step whenever they're ready, and also allow you to have cash flow coming in, because that's what ultimately comes from this. So I hope that answered the question.
Yes, two steps to automation, and automation is equal to time freedom, because we keep talking about financial freedom a lot, Tjibaria. But today I'm loving this topic just because we are addressing one of the most important aspect where a lot of entrepreneurs struggle the moment they come into the success zone, or even when they're building, they let go of so many priorities in life, which
Yeah.
builds the stress. So I want you guys to actually comment below. Automation equal to time freedom, and two steps to automation. One is the automation for managing your database and communicating with that with the clients, and the second thing is the funnel, which actually takes care of your entire sales cycle and making sure that they're feeling so good. Yay, man! I was taken care so very well. So yes, it's a happy dance. Then it's a happy dance. Once
Yeah.
the client is happy, naturally happy
And
dance will come.
if it's okay, Rajesh, I just want to add a quick
Yes.
point towards this, because when we write our emails, we literally think about our customers. We think about like the people that we're writing it for, even though this could be like 100 or 1,000 or thousands in our case, thousands, or I don't know, like hundreds of thousands of people that we're writing it to. But even at that, it's it still has that energy. So what happens a lot of the time, we receive emails back from people saying like, oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. Thank you so much for considering me. And I love what you guys do and this and that. And that's all 100% real, because even though you're writing it and it goes out to more people, the intention is still the same and people feel that. So we have this all the time where people come back to us and say, thank you so much for sending me this email. Thank you for sending me this message. I really appreciate what you guys do. And I can't wait for the next thing, this, that, or whatever it is that we're offering, right? And I think that is super powerful. And I think the moment that you experience that and you see that happening, you will also see like, oh man, I should have started with automation earlier. So that is why we're making this video as well, to let everybody know, like, yes, it might be something that is new to you. If you're an existing business owner, you've never worked with automation, it could be new, but it's essential. If you're new to business at all, then this is the perfect time to get started with this, because there's no better time than from the beginning to put all these things in. And eventually you'll thank yourself for it. But what we really want the main takeaway to be from this video is that everybody realizes that automation is for everyone. Everyone can do this. It's not like you need to be a whiz kid. It's not like you need to be Einstein or Elon Musk. No, anyone can do this. It's literally simple. And with today's technology, all of these things are simplified. Or if you're like, yes, I want this, but I don't want to do it, I just want to pay someone to do it. Hey, pay us. We do it. You know what? So yeah, definitely there's a possibility there. And you'll literally see the power that it has, because you're impacting a lot of people at the same time, and you're allowing yourself to make more money from all different directions. And that's like the next level where this goes into, because the moment you start building that value with everybody, different people from different directions start approaching you and say, hey, I love what you're doing, Galeen. I want to work with you. Where can I pay? How can I pay? I'm ready. And that's a powerful thing. And that's where the business is like, why all top level businesses include this. So if you're not doing this yet, I would highly recommend you start today. Minimal way to start is inform yourself about it. Go on a call with Rajesh, ask questions, because that's how you get the ball rolling. Then you start to see, like, wait a second, I can do this. There's nothing that's holding me back, and I must do this now. It's something for me, my family, but also my customers that are waiting for me.
Wow, this is so good. This is so good. So yeah, I think you dropped another knowledge bomb here. Automation is for everyone, and automation is a must. Rather, I want you guys to actually, reaffirm, either
Mm.
comment below or write it down in a big paper and put it right in front of you. And if you want to really become big in business, write it down. I must start with automation. And automation is so cool. Automation is so cool. It puts you in a position where scaling up of your business becomes so easy. And like she said, if you don't want to do all that and if you want us to do it, just go there and book a call. It's a very simple thing. It is a very simple. Oh, okay. Somebody mentioned here, everyone can do this, automate and accelerate. I love this. Delian, it is so good. It is so good.
That's
So
awesome. You're amazing, Deline. We love you.
it is so powerful. It is so powerful. So, I mean, and I understand one thing about it is automation is for everyone. There are only two steps if you want to start. Starting with the database. Second is the funnel, and we see right the level of impact our clients actually suddenly go up from what they were before coming our clients, and after that how they actually kind of get the level of confidence that yeah I can serve so many people, but with
Yeah.
that personalization in place, the personalization, because it's them who put the thought saying that hey, how are you doing, darling? Is it okay? It's all right, fine. If today is not really good for you, no problem. Change the mindset, get back into the rhythm, and then they say, if you still, these are the possible things why you may not feel good today, but I can help you out. Right? You see that, right? The level of care that they can give through this automation is enormous. So
Absolutely.
I want to ask one thing, Tjibaria, before we conclude this very, very interesting and amazing conversation, which I really don't want to end at all. What is that one important thing that you want to share with the audience about the automation?
I think start today. That's the biggest thing. Start today. Find a way to make it happen, whichever way you want to go about it, whether it is through you getting yourself like ClickFunnels account, you getting yourself a database, you making sure that if you're already having an enterprise, get talk to your team and see like, hey, how do we bring this in? Talk to Rajesh, book in a call, which is free of charge. Ask Rajesh questions. How does it work for me? How could I get started with this? Because if you start doing that, if you start this process today, it builds momentum. And then you will see, rather than it just being a thought of, yes, I should have automation, it becomes actually the step by step towards you getting automation. And I think that's important.
You heard it from the Two Comma Club Award winner, Tjibaria. Do it. Do it today.
Yeah.
Start now. And it doesn't cost anything. If you want to make that change in your business, it doesn't matter where you're stuck in your business. We are here to help you. And these calls are not from us. It's purely for you. We want to add that level of impact in your business, whether, whatever maybe situation you are in, you should know that we are there for you. So that's the only reason. So again, I want to say any questions, drop down here so that probably we can come out and help you. I love this call. Yeah, we love your company as well, Delin. It is so good. So thank you so much. Thank you, Tjibaria, for really, really taking this conversation to all the level. And automation is really very important. And thank you each and everyone who tuned into today's call. We see you again next week at 1 p.m. UK time, right here in the group. Until then, I would want you to really kind of drop any questions you may have, any favorite topics. I don't say favorite, but the topics that you're facing challenges, we would like to cover based on our experience from our global clients. But till then, thank you so much for tuning in and have an amazing rest of the week ahead. Thank you, Tjibaria.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thanks, everybody. See
Bye
you soon.
bye. If you want our global experts to create your dream online business or grow your existing business, go to freedomlife.com.